Hi, this is the Group 6 final project nurturing. Our group includes Yuxuan, Li, Alex, Luo, Yong, zhou, and Harry. For this project presentation, I will separate into 4 different parts. First part is research. We read a lot of biophilic essay and have research about the buildings like the Letter House in China, the Bubble House in Gold Coast, and the European vertical forest, and got a good idea about how to use biophilic in building design. We also collect the data about Gold Coast. For the design concept part, we have more deeper research about how to make the room biophilic and plant the trees in the inside, how to make the open space light enough. Our main idea comes from the recycle side and steps that makes the final project. Our group members have mind map and sketches so that we can share our idea together. Our sustainable consideration is solar energy used in the roof and green plants used in the wall and the ground. This is the first early render house. For the design exploration and development, I make some screenshots about the process from sketch to the final render project. Our site choose this in the Gold Coast. The front of the building house will face the street and the back will be a big forest. The forest mainly have the middle-sized trees of Australia like the birch. I also make the digital models in the Revit and I make some screenshots from each different side. We will use 500 square meters ground and build a ring house separated into 5 different parts. I make some documentation drawings, include the floor plan, finish plan, roof plan, and the elevation and section. We also make some material investigation, like the nature stone, carpet, marble, and green grass, and also make a material board. Our members' work are listed here. For our final design outcome, the goal of my project is to increase sustainable energy use and enjoy green life in daily life. The building itself generates a large amount of industrial waste using sustainable building materials to reduce waste. Sustainable architecture means being able to follow the client's requirements, instigate nature into the biophilic design of the living environment. The house will be a family living in it, and the occupants will be able to feel the warmth of the house, as well as a nature sense of relaxation. The developable house will shape like a ring from the outside look. Half of the house will surrounded by floor-to-ceiling wall, and another half will covered in greenery and nature stone. One of the biggest challenges of the project was that it was a house rather than an apartment or a high-rise building. A house with a irregular shape, the utilization of light and the flow of air will be hindered, so the green roof can be opened and closed through a glass skylight to allow the airflow and work through. I also plan to combine plants with the roof of the house and also the rainwater circular system. I also make a walkthrough video of this building, and I will show it later of the presentation. Next, the group members will explain the part they designed.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex and I'm taking the garden and the living room part. So the garden connects with the living room. The concept is that this is not two separate spaces but one. So for this purpose, we will be no door between the living room and the garden, allowing the living room to lead directly to the garden. because the garden is the best place to create a biophilic experience. The idea is to make the living room to experience the biophilic created by the garden. In the space where the gate entering the garden, I place some stone slab as the path. In the middle of the garden, I design a curved pond as a landscape. On the inside of the pond, I put some stones to surround the flower bed, and it's for planting. I made the fence with some visor on the upper part of the garden, and it's with purple vines and hedgerow on it. The floor of the living room is 1 meter higher than other space. I use wood as a material, and this floor is attached to the outer wall and extends to the garden. And there will only be simple furniture in the living room, no home appliques. And the living room has a long skyline to ensure the nature lighting. The most frequently used space by residents is the living room. In the design of the living room, I will give priority to comfort and then go to combine the concept of the biophilic design to enhance the comfort of the living room. The garden will be only exterior space for the project, so I want to put in as much green as possible. The outdoor space provide better biophilic conditions. My object is to make the most of the biophilic concept here. And here's the plans with the location and the information. I have done some research and ensure the feasibility of these plans in this project. So my next member will introduce his part.
Hi, I'm Yuxuan, and my part is to design the kitchen part and the dining part. The kitchen and the dining parts are taken a quarter of the house. It's arc-shaped and 14 meters long, 7 meters wide. In terms of shaping plan, I reflect its shape as a tree and create a vine wheel in the shape of the birches to create more interview effect. A more natural effect, the interior will emphasize the harmony between the human and the nature. For scope of the work, I look forward to using the pixel glass, so the outside wall will use this kind of glass. It's strong enough, so I think do not need any art supporting. It reflects the materials and open space to ensure the occupants can create communication with the nature. The materials and the interior elements comes from the nature, including the texture of the trees, wood, to create a unique effect and biophilic effect. The most characteristic part of the whole kitchen is a marble table that is higher than the ground, so it's used for people to cook and prepare the food. It's at the middle of the room, which will be a very attentive piece of furniture, and the occupant can be conveyed to do the dishes and enjoy the view outside the window. The dining area set up a steep step between the kitchen and the living part, makes the space not too crowded. And the rainwater circular system is perfectly intense the indoor environment. It's use the shape of a rock and connect the rainwater from a open roof. In addition to the fish for the landscape, it can also be used directly for irrigation. Green plants. These green plants can establish green plants include lettuce and kale. This kind of vegetables can edible in addition to be beautiful and green, give biophilic feeling in the kitchen. Next is Harry.
Hello everyone, I'm Harry. My project is to build up study room and storage area in the house. First of all, study room is a place for reading, writing, and research. The layout should create a clean, elegant, and simple environment. Also incorporate nature in the space. For example, visual connections such as plants, trees, natural lighting, good air circulation, and the material is using the texture of timber. On the other hand, storage space feeds all the living stuff to clean. It will be much easier to incorporate biophilic design into it. We will have a cleaner perspective of the space and what it needs to be more in touch with the nature. In fact, of more than just getting rid of clutter and getting closer to nature, biophilic design space also improve our quality of life. Finally, I have researched on the house direction for the natural lighting during using graphite. This house can have more daily natural lighting. For the rooftop, I suggest plant wall and solar panels to prevent sun heat and awesome looking. For the study room, I have used the warm color material. I used the white marble table with a plant wall. It have natural light can come from the open glass and it can achieve more sunshine timing. Behind the study room is a mini cinema. It provides a nature feeling cinema to break with the traditional cinema. It used the plant wall for the soundproof. It also got a real glass wall floor to build a green living space. At the end, storage space got a signature glass corridor and it got a dream room and playground. In fact, more than just getting rid of clutter and getting closer to the nature, biophilic design space also improve our quality of life. Next, I will pass to Yong.
Hello everyone, I'm Yong. I'm responsible for this design to the bedroom, which will use biophilic elements. So we will use sustainable or renewable materials in this room and use plants to improve the bedroom environment. The goal of the whole project is to create a green living environment and provide customers with a healthy green home. In this room, I used the three elements: natural materials, natural light, and plants. The combination of these three elements can create a pleasant and effective living environment. The colors, materials, and shapes of the entry bedroom are based on natural elements. The main goal is to build a green living space. By using plants and natural materials indoors, it can reduce air pollution, low carbon, and control indoor temperature. On the other hand, a sustainable cooling system is used in the entry halls. This room has two stairs leading to the first floor. The reason why I want to build a fish pond indoors is the water can keep the whole room from draining out, which is good for people's health. Other reason is building a fish pond indoors allows customers feel like living a natural environment. Next we will show the walkthrough video. Thank you. That's all.